Greetings and good afternoon. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to come and just celebrate with us. I must say, I am beyond proud of our students and our staff here. The work that has been done to go from an F to an A is not to be underestimated. So it has to be celebrated, and I thank y'all so much for just coming and sharing in that joy and resting in this space with us today. So thank you. And so without further ado, I would like to welcome up Mr. Jesse Gutierrez from City of Houston Parks. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right, thank you, everyone. I am Mr. Jesse Gutierrez, right, with the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, one of the division managers. And I was so excited for the invite that I was the first one here. It's just so important to celebrate wins and accomplishments. We are a proud partner of HISD, and it's important because it helps motivate, it builds confidence, and it builds resilience, not only amongst the students, but the community. What can I say? Just very, very, very happy to be here. We are in collaboration with HISD as opening up the 8th Sunrise Center right next door at Marion Park. And we will, like the principal was saying, all the way from an F to an A rating. That's incredible. That is so incredible. And what happens after that, right? Director Collins, who I'm here on behalf of today, always talks about setting the standard. And once you set the standard, maintaining it, right? So how do we maintain it? By providing that support to the students and the families of this community. And we hope to do that through our partnership with HISD and the Sunrise Center. And Marion and the Parks Department will continue to be a hub for the community and the communities of Houston to provide that support and ensure that we do maintain the standard and we continue moving forward. Okay. I see the mantra of HISD, outstanding. We want to congratulate the staff, the students, the parents. You are outstanding, continue to be outstanding, and we hope to continue providing that support towards that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Now Superintendent Miles is going to come up. He'll do a short presentation and then take questions from community members or friends.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Jesse, thank you. Yes, the collaboration with the Parks and Rec has been invaluable over many, many years, and most recently with the Marion Sunrise Center. Thank you for everything that you and the Parks and Recs are doing for our kids. That collaboration, that connection is so important. Yes, we do instruction and academics here, but we all know that it's a community and it includes the Parks and Rec, so thank you. Yeah, I've got some good news too, but first, I just came from a celebration of the kids at Valley West Elementary School. Also asked you this morning, and we went, Milne, yeah, Milne, and Sandy, you were in 5 schools. Casey, you were in several schools, so we've been all over the district. But let me focus first on Valley West Elementary School. Look, last year there were 3 campuses in the state of Texas, in the entire state, that went from an F to an A. All 3 were in Houston, ISD. This year, I'm not sure that the Texas Education Agency will put out their numbers on Friday, I believe, but we had 1 more campus that went from an F to an A, and that is Valley West. And so, and we have the Principal Hampton who's here right now. Can you stand up just so people can see? Yeah, Terry Hampton. And the new Principal Tucker is here also, and she's going to carry on the good work that you and the teachers did. That's an amazing improvement. Thank you very much for all the hard work, and we thank the teachers, of course. If there's any teachers in the room, thank you so much for everything that you've done for the kids. It is the kids' success, but it's also our teachers' success. So I want to talk, and then let me go over some other data points. I'll talk a little bit about today, and then we'll take questions, any questions you want to ask about what's going on in the district. So this is the biggest headline for me anyway, and it should be for y'all, of the accountability scores that came out recently and that the commissioner will talk about on Friday. And that is geography no longer dictates destiny in HISD. What I mean by that is this. If you take any urban district, any large urban, and you color-coded their A schools with the dark green and then the B with lighter green, C with yellow, D with pink, and F with red, you would see something like this in most large urbans. And you wouldn't need this really. You could actually take a map of the city, any large urban, know where the high poverty areas are, or students who are challenged by poverty, or students challenged by language barriers, and you could circle those areas of town, and those circles would dictate almost where your DNF schools are, or at least struggling campuses, just like this in 2023 in HISD and every year before that. People don't need a map so much, or the results. They already know where the struggling campuses are in most large urban districts. And so if you look at this is Houston in 2023, and you can see all those circles have almost, not just predominantly, almost all of the schools are pink and red. There's a couple of greens and yellows scattered here and there, but that's where most of the underserved areas of the population also happen to be where the struggling schools were. And you can see that part of town that has no circles. If you live in Houston, you know those parts of town. This is what it is today. This is what it is today. Thank you. If I was in church, I'd be repeating it again and ask for an amen after that, but we're not, so I'll just move on. This is what it is today. I dare you to draw a circle around the low-performing schools. Because the pinks and the pinks are the D. There's only 18 of those circles out of 273, and then there's no red circles. For the first time, not one HISD student is attending a failing school, and for the first time, 73, almost 74% of our kids are attending an A or B school. I don't care where you live in Houston now, you are close to an A or B school if you're not in an A or B school. Today, 74% of our kids attend an A or B school, and that's huge. Now, these data around accountability is from the state. Yes, these are preliminary. Let me say that. The state will have official data on Friday, but we use the same methodology, and we got technical assistance from the state, so we feel pretty confident about these numbers. So that is what the headline for me is, and what it means for kids. Yeah, these are a bunch of numbers. I'm going to show you a few more numbers. But what it really means, if you were in that, I hope you heard, maybe some of you that you got here early, just so you could hear the kids screaming and just celebrating with their teachers how great those scores are, because And maybe the students don't know as much as their parents know that these grades means there's more opportunity down the road. It means they are narrowing the gap. It means that they will have a better academic future in middle school and in high school. And then they will have more opportunities once they graduate from high school if we continue them on that trajectory. And that opportunity will be to go to college, that's one set of opportunities, or have a high demand, high wage, high skilled job when they graduate. So that 6 years from now, when we look at the Good Reason Houston report again on livable wage, more of our kids who graduate from Houston will have a livable wage 6 years after graduation. Right now, it's only 17%. So that's the story. Now, I'll race through the rest of these slides because it's not just, of course, not having any Fs. So we have 18 D campuses still, 0 Fs. But on the other end, which is more important, we went from 93 A and B rated campuses 2 years ago to 197. That's, that's crazy. Who does that? We do. Yeah, our teachers do and our kids do. That's who does that. Valley West, I probably should have showed this first because we are here sitting, and it just shows you we're breaking that trend, right? We're breaking the downward spiral and we're just shooting back up. And Miss Tucker, Principal Tucker knows, we got to carry it on then. By the way, we went from 121 to 41 DNF campuses, 93 A and B to 170. We didn't go back down last year. We went further up. And that's what we expect Valley West to do, to go even further up. There was no regression. This is Valley West, yes, but this story, while not as, no other school went from an F to an A, but we had lots of schools that grew. C to a B, B to an A to a higher A, So we had lots of growth, and this is very impressive. I was telling you, the numbers mean one thing. What I look at and what the team focuses on, can kids read more and at grade level? Are there more kids reading today at grade level than a year ago? And how many more? Can kids do math at grade level? Are there many more this year than there were last year? And if the answer is yes, then we're doing our job. And that's what these scores mean. So yeah, there's numbers in their bars, but at the end of the day, what a parent cares about is not this so much. They care about whether their kid can read at grade level. And same with the teachers. They know. They don't even need these scores. They know because we're looking at it every day. We're doing demonstrations of learning. We're doing dibbles. We're doing other assessments. They already know whether our kids are learning. And here, again, meeting growth. Reading and math. Huge improvement. Oh, wait, before I go, one thing to note. Yes, Valley West Elementary has done really well. But the entire feeder pattern, because we look at things not just at the school, we look at the entire area. Who's feeding into the middle schools, who's feeding into the high schools, and the whole area, you can see, is improving. The whole area is improving. So those are the headlines, guys, for our accountability. Let me say a couple things about the first day of school, and then I'll take questions. We have 181 student-teacher contact days. That's what it takes. There's no question that we've grown, but we got a long way to go. And until every single school is an A, and until every single student is reaching his or her potential, including our EB students, including our special needs students, including our students who come from poverty, every kid. All means all. We're not going to rest. And we know what it takes. Over the last 2 years, we know what it takes. Those of you who've been here, I'm looking at you, Principal Hampton, we know what it takes. You said some of that in the hall the other day, just now, what it really takes for those kids to get where they are. It's not easy work. And and if you're a principal, I like what you said. I'll just repeat some of the things. When she's pulling kids out of the bathroom saying, "Get out of here, let's go, you're taking too long, get back to class," that's what it takes. When you're sending kids to the team center and you're encouraging that kid who just hasn't securing one and needs a little bit of a push to go to the team center, that's what it takes. When you're spending a little bit more time on the second teach, that's what it takes. When you're encouraging your teachers to make sure they're here on time, that's what it takes. When the teachers are getting here and watching their own attendance and saying, "I'm going to hit a 97, 98, that's what it takes. And on and on and on. That's what it takes. Not to mention highly effective instruction. So I'm looking at you, principals. I know what it takes. And one of the things it takes is 181 student-teacher contact days. Not 170.
So early.
That's right. Not 170 for kids who struggle. Other districts do you, do what works for you. For kids who struggle, for kids who are behind, and we were behind in every single exam before my administration. We know that our kids need it, and they need it from day one. We don't want to come to school and then ease on into it. In a week or two, we start studying for real. And a couple days before Christmas, we end, so that we can ease into the vacation. And then spring break and last 2 weeks of school, of the school year, we're also not working hard. In HISD, we work 181 days. Doesn't mean it's not fun. I was in, 3 schools today, and kids are having fun. You know why? Because kids have fun when they're learning. And I hope, if you haven't been to an HISD school, that you come and visit and see what's actually going on. So, good start to the year. Obviously there's always going to be challenges when there's 273 schools and 170 some students. It's going to be challenging, but I think we had a really good start. I'm looking at the chiefs over here, Chief Massey, Chief of Schools, and Chief Bailey, Division Chief. I know what it takes. I know all the work that you guys put into the start of the school year, so thank you. All right, with that, I will take questions.
Raise your hand because I know there are some of you back there, or text me. Okay. Let me know before you make your question. Let's start with Bianca and then me.
I'm Bianca with Houston Public Media. I understand the law is not impacted until September 1st, but I wanted to know where the district is in terms of rolling out the commandment posters. You had a list for an idea of how many schools are already compliant. Where is the district on that?
So, yes, September 1st, and I will tell you, we follow the law, and we will follow the law. On September 1st, we will be ready. In fact, what does that mean? That means we will have the 10 Commandments posted in every classroom. There's some specifics that TEA has rolled out, so we'll follow that.
I want to ask about bus routes. How many people signed up for bus routes this year for families who got faulty bus stops, location, routes, time? How will that be sorted out? How can families address that with the district?
Yeah, thanks for asking. That will be sorted out. Look, we have overhauled the transportation system, and as a result, we're going to have more students on buses. We already have more students on buses today than we did a year ago, but that's not a good comparison. You have to wait a couple of weeks. People who signed up, we had over 20,000. Remember, last year we transported 9,000. So 20,000 people have asked for a route, or students have asked for a route. So that's a lot more. And as you know, because you've been in Houston for a while and have covered the district, we get route requests, a lot of them right after people come back from vacation, the first week of school, right before the first week of school. We're getting route requests today. We'll get it for the next week. So it'll take a while for the dust to settle. But you can go on HISD website, and right on the front page there's a pop-up that says, if you have transportation questions, click here. Parents and students can also go to their school principal, and they will either help them right there on the spot or get them hooked up with transportation. So a lot more people, a lot more routes. In fact, we wanted to decrease the number of routes, but we actually increased the number of routes from 450 to over 500 now, because people are requesting a lot. You also know that people request and then don't show up. And that's okay, because they think they'll need it and then they don't need it. So that also happens. So there's a lot of settling to be done before it's all over.
Liliana with 13. Today we've been speaking with some parents at Durham Elementary who say it was late Friday. Their school got notified that there were some curriculum changes that happened that only left Monday for teachers to kind of figure out what to do with all their school planning. Can you shed any light on what happened with that last minute curriculum change and kind of what support is being provided to families and teachers now that they kind of have to make a lot of really fast changes?
Yeah, so one of the so that's probably what we call a special focus school. So people have had their curriculum for a while, and you know that in the NES schools, the new education system schools, 130, the curriculum is set, and we provide those curricular materials weeks in advance. They can go online and get them. Special focus school is a school that has a D rating. And sometimes a low D rating. And so those schools will get particular attention and focus and supports. And those schools were identified after the STAR scores, the accountability rate, the preliminary ratings came out just a little over a week ago. In several of those cases, the special focus schools, D-rated schools, and remember we only have 18 D-rated campuses, those special focus schools will have to use the HISD curriculum, which is provided for them. So while, yes, it may be since last week, because we provide it for them, it's online already, and as soon as they got notification that they were a D-rated school, which is the first day back for teachers, for the teachers that you're talking about, they could get online, the principals could get online. Not only is the PowerPoint given to them, the lesson objective, the demonstration of learning, the quizzes, the answer key, the differentiated assignment, and copies are made for them. So all of that is going to be provided, and that's probably, I think, what you're referring to.
Superintendent, do you have any numbers yet on whether any of the buses broke down or any of the schools didn't have AC today?
When I leave here, I will be going to our end-of-day huddle about the first day of school, and I will get that information. I haven't heard of a bus breaking down, and I haven't heard of a school having major AC issues. Keep in mind, I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it, every spring, every fall, this time of year, August, September, we are fighting the air conditioning wars. And so we probably have temporary coolers going on in several different buildings. I think we have 200 or some temporary coolers that we put out. So, but as far as I know, every school was operational and kids were learning in an environment that was cool enough.
Will you be releasing the data?
Yeah, I mean, if it's an issue, we will release that.
If the campus is struggling with their air conditioning and they
they always have contingency plans to solve it. If for some reason that doesn't happen, emergency comms are sent to families to let them know. No emergency comms had to be sent today. Every school was able to work with our facilities teams to troubleshoot any AC issues. But as the superintendent said, there are always AC issues in HIC because we have aging buildings.
Chief of Comms, for those who don't know, Alexander Hales. Elizondo.
I wanted to ask about the school board meeting. The district has proposed several policy changes. One of them is to modify the consultation policy. I was wondering if you could talk about why the district is planning to do that, and also why it's making some of the other changes to proposed employee policies going to this board meeting.
So specifically on the consultation, we're following what most districts do, and we do a lot of consulting with different groups. So I have Principal Advisory Committee, Teacher Advisory Committee. During major initiatives, we put out lots of information. We have town hall meetings, et cetera. We have the District Advisory Committee, lots of different committees. I will not, though, no, let me phrase it this way, because I can see you just, what do you call it? Salivating. So let me just say that in each of those committees that we work with, in each one, input is really valued, and we try to work collaboratively to make those changes that will help students and put students first. And that's why we're going to continue with those groups.
They were resuming train traffic at the crossing tracks near Milby High School. I was wondering what their promises from last year to limit the train traffic. They resumed running traffic. I was curious if you had a comment on the...
So I may not be up on the latest, but if I'm not mistaken, the legislature passed some funding in conjunction with the city and county to put a safe passage for the students at Milby. And I think that is going to be, I don't know when they're going to break ground, but that'll be soon. Mm-hmm.
Should keep pausing the traffic until that's in place. They're quite behind on breaking ground.
Yeah, because I don't have all the details, I'd hate to speak for them or speak about something I don't have all the details about. So
Our safety team and transportation team are in communication with Union Pacific. We meet regularly, so and troubleshoot as needed.
Megan?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I believe the district was hoping to add 800 pre-K seats this academic year. I know that, if you have an estimate of how many pre-K seats have been filled this year?
I will know that at 4:30. Sure.
Any other question? Lillian?
With the district being in touch with Union Pacific, was the district aware, and this might not be a question for you, was the district aware that this change was going to happen with the trains near Milby?
We'll follow up with you about this specific issue.
Okay.
Any other question, guys? That's it. Thank you all for being here.
All right. Thank you, everybody.